It's rare that elected Republicans criticize Donald Trump, at the very least in public. But Erick Erickson recently spoke to a congressman who is staying anonymous. He was walking around Safeway with him, and that Republican congressman was very blunt in what he thought about Donald Trump. So buckle up, we're gonna read some of his quotes. If we're gonna lose because of him, we might as well impeach the motherfucker.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Okay, so we're just warming up.
That's the lightest part, I think.
Okay, but I've never heard any congressman, Republican or Democrat, talk like that about their own president, even if it's anonymous. And by the way, these quotes are so devastating. They're gonna uncover who it is. It's the greatest mystery in Washington today. They can't not uncover it, right? Oh, I can't wait to find out who it is, but wait till you get more.
Let's read some more and we'll see. Maybe we can analyze these statements. He may be an idiot, but he's still the president and leader of my party, and he is capable of doing some things right, before conceding it's usually other people doing the right things in the president's name. But damn it, he's taking us all down with him. We are well and truly fucked in November. Kevin McCarthy is already circling like a green fly circling shit, trying to take Paul Ryan's job because nobody thinks he's sticking around for Nancy Pelosi. She's going to fuck up the cafeteria again too. Lord's name in vain. At least I'll probably lose too and won't have to put up with that shit.
So by the way, he said, of course, God damn it.
God damn it, yeah.
Yes.
But that's a nice little silver lining for him. I'm probably gonna get thrown out too.
Yeah, no, so this is the reality. This is the truth. This is the truth that they all know in Washington, but no one will actually tell you. So, Erick Erickson says he's conflicted about putting this out there because this guy goes on TV and defends Donald Trump and then privately thinks this. So he's like, look, you should be honest with people, etc. And I think Erick Erickson's a terrible guy. I disagree with him on 1,000 different things. But this is like the rare case of a conservative actually doing journalism that I have seen in the last couple of decades. Because you can't trust half the things that they print. Most of the stories are nonsense. But this is real. This is a real congressman talking to him, and it is a public service that Erick Erickson let us know what they actually think in Congress. So nice job getting this guy to say to you, even anonymously. And so privately, they all think Trump's an idiot. Even the ones on TV going, oh no, Mr. Trump is a wonderful, excellent commander-in-chief and great guy. Gets off air, is like, fucking idiot, man, ruining us all.
Yeah.
So if you're a Donald Trump supporter out there, even the Republicans in Washington think he's a moron. You're the only one left not realizing it. They're all laughing at you behind your back. And then my favorite part, and there's so many great parts here, is his concern for the cafeteria. Like, of all the things, but it really,
I thought it was a metaphor.
No. And but I'll tell you, look, it is actually symbolic. This whole story is incredibly symbolic for all of that's wrong with Washington. But that cafeteria comment, because they're so self-obsessed that they're not even like, they're not worried, hey, I'm gonna lose they're worried they're gonna lose their power and they don't wanna serve under Pelosi, etc. But he's worried about the effing cafeteria.
Yeah.
He's worried about the cafeteria. Because he's like, am I gonna get the burgers? Are they not gonna put the cheese on the burgers? I don't know, right? That's how shallow they are. Remember the Democrats, by the way, during the budget things, we thought that they said no and the government got shut down for 3 days because they were worried about DACA. It turns out, no, they weren't worried about DACA. We found out in the reporting, they were worried that the Republicans didn't ask them in the right way and took away some of their privileges that they had in introducing amendments. Oh, yeah. So, but now get back to the main event.
We've got more for you. We've got a good bit more. Here's what he said. It's like Forrest Gump won the presidency, but an evil, really fucking stupid Forrest Gump.
Oh my God.
Wow,
oh my God.
Wait, has he seen Forrest Gump? He can't help himself. He's just a fucking idiot who thinks he's winning when people are bitching about him. I hate Forrest Gump. I listened to your podcast and heard you hate it too. What an overrated piece of shit movie.
This is like an episode of Veep. Have you ever watched Veep? This is it, okay? Yeah. It turns out Veep is the most accurate show on television.
Apparently. Okay, we got more. Judiciary is stacked with a bunch of people who can win re-election so long as they don't piss off Trump voters in the primary. But if we get to summer and most of the primaries are over, they just might pull the trigger if the president fires Mueller. The shit will hit the fan if that happens, and I'd vote to impeach him myself. Most of us would, I think. Hell, all the Democrats would, and you only need a majority in the House. If we're gonna lose because of him, we might as well impeach the motherfucker, take him out with us, and let Mike Pence take over. At least then we could sleep well at night. And there's a little bit more. We're gonna lose the House, lose the Senate, and lose a bunch of states because of him. All the supporters will blame us for what we have or have not done, but he hasn't led. He wakes up in the morning, shits all over Twitter, shits all over us, shits all over his staff, then hits golf balls. Fuck him.
This is the greatest quotes. These are the greatest political quotes I have ever seen, ever. Dude, if you man up and you actually tell us who you are, I know you're gonna catch a lot of grief and you're gonna have to retire and the Trump people will hate you forever, but you'll be a little bit of a legend. Those are unreal quotes. Evil fucking Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, but stupid.
Forrest Gump had mental damage.
Oh my God, he shits all over us, he hits fucking golf balls.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if he reveals himself, he might literally become Bill Maher's co-host. Like a Republican who hates Trump this much, he'll be all over it.
I mean, look at all this. Of course, I can't say that in public or I'd get run out of town. I say a lot of shit on TV defending him, even over this. But he would impeach him. He would impeach him. By the way, note to the press, this is why Paul Ryan's retiring. Not because he wants to spend time with his family or because of civil war within the Republican Party or the Freedom Caucus is pressuring him too much. Because all of the Republican congressmen are thinking we're all gonna lose because of this guy. Anyone in a district that isn't plus 20 Republican is in fear, legitimate concern of losing. They just lost a plus 19 seat in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, right now they're in a panic. And one more thing that's super relevant to this, and I fear saying this, but our job is to be honest and give you a real analysis of the news, okay? Is that I think that this guy's real analysis, not this bullshit he says on television, but his real analysis is right about a specific issue that when they got into the weeds, he said, look, we gotta survive our primaries, but after the primaries, we're in a better position to impeach, okay? Because then we won't get primaried by the Trump base.
For a while, at least.
Yes, so we got to survive the summer. Now, it's not that he's looking forward to impeachment. You just heard the quotes yourself. He's just saying that if it comes to impeachment and Trump fires Mueller, he's happy to take Trump down with him because he's going to lose anyway. Or maybe he survives if he votes for impeachment, right? But he thinks he cannot survive if he stays with Trump because of the general election. But he's got to make it through the primaries first. The reason I hesitate in telling you that is Trump is better off firing Mueller now before the primaries. If he tries to do it after the primaries, all these guys are going to turn around and go, look, first of all, I didn't get primaried. I'm fine there, so I don't have to worry about my right wing. Second of all, in the general election, I'm screwed. I'm looking at a 10, 12-point deficit from which I can never recover, and I don't have enough months. My only hope is I act out of principle, and then I can go to the general election and say, well, what do you mean I was with Trump? I voted to impeach Trump. So that both gives you a sense of the dynamics of the Mueller situation, that secondarily, clearly, obviously gives you a sense of what Republicans think about Donald Trump and whether he actually should be impeached and whether he actually did do terrible things that could get him impeached. And for Mueller, if they thought it wasn't a serious investigation, you think he's talking about impeachment like this? You'd be like, oh no, Mueller, it's nonsense. No, his real thoughts would be like, oh, fucking Mueller, I can't believe him. Fake news, whatever, right? Oh, the rogue FBI. No, he's like, obviously Mueller's right, and so we gotta act if we don't. And then finally, look, in terms of whether Trump goes before the midterms, which is what I've been saying all along, Mueller is gonna come forward this year at some point, right? We don't know when he's gonna come forward, but it's not gonna be in 2019. Then it's gonna put all these Republicans to a decision. Now, if it's before the primaries, it's a different dynamic, as this guy explains. If it's after the primaries, a different dynamic. But either way, if either Mueller comes forward or Trump fires him, we're gonna get to a decision point, and it's gonna be before the midterms. So, tick tock, tick tock. If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.